And we're live. Awesome. Denise,
All right.
It's great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
We are here in Motivate offices.
Mm-hmm.
You drove up from Chino,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where you grew up.
Right. Whole life.
Whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about, young girl Denise. What was little Denise like growing up?
Little Denise. I was very close to my family. So I literally have my grandparents that live in Chino, my aunts, all my cousins were all in close age. My sister, we're 15 months apart. So we grew up really competitive, into soccer, that was literally my life. Looking back, I didn't have, I had time for homework, soccer practice, come home, shower, finish my homework again, and then go to bed, and the same thing the next day.
And you're the oldest or the youngest?
Yeah, I'm the oldest.
Okay. So that competitive nature is you got to always prove you're on top.
Right. I had to be okay, Dana, this is a bar, so you need to try to get to my level.
Did you guys ever play on the same team?
When she would play with my team a couple of times just because I'm the year above her. So if she wanted to, if her team wasn't participating in the tournament or whatever it was, she could join my team. My teammates loved her. My coaches loved her. But yeah.
What about friends? Was it kind of these are my friends, those are your friends? Was there some dividing line there?
Yeah, we didn't have the same friends at all. We grew up, I was she's pink, or I'm pink, she's blue. We're completely opposite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the oldest from 15 months.
Yeah, so you get it.
No, I completely
you get it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Completely understand it. I mean, it really helps create your identity.
For sure. Yeah, because she's more of the confrontational bully one. So I think I got tough because of her.
Oh, wow.
Ironically. And I was always why are you so mean to me? And I'm the older one.
Yeah.
But when it came to soccer and stuff, we would have tournaments in our house just one-on-one, and we would go hard.
Cool. I can imagine.
Really hard. Yeah.
And you guys both played collegiate?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We both got scholarships.
That's amazing.
Went Division I. She just graduated this last May, so...
Same college, different colleges?
Different colleges. She lived in Louisiana for 4 years.
Okay.
I could never.
No.
I could never. I tried Seattle for 1 year, and I was I need to go back home.
You played at UCR?
Yeah.
That was a good experience?
For sure, yeah.
Got it. Why soccer? I mean, what started soccer?
Honestly, I remember my very first soccer practice. We were at this park by my house down the street, and it was ASO. And the guy was okay, let's juggle. So I grabbed the ball in my hand, and I'm okay, how is this going to help with soccer? But he meant juggle with your feet.
Yeah.
And so ever since then, I was wow, I don't know. My parents didn't grow up playing soccer. It just kind of stuck from that very first practice.
And from then on, you knew you wanted to be an athlete? You loved athletics?
I loved being an athlete. I loved being competitive. I felt that just brought that basically created my identity too,
really?
I think. Yeah. So there's just something about it. It was just that feeling. Mm-hmm. I wasn't really good at anything else, but sports. I did cross country and track in middle school, and soccer was just my thing.
What about school? How did school fit in? I mean, did you enjoy school, not like school?
I did enjoy school. Not math, but everything else I loved. I was a 3.2 GPA
nice.
In high school, and then middle school and stuff. I was always 3, 7, or 8, but I could never get straight A's, so that bothered me.
So it did.
Yeah.
And is that why? Is that because you're competitive?
Yeah, and I'm not a straight A student, but I'm at ODP. I don't know if people are familiar, but I was but at least I have that. Soccer was always that level that I wanted to be at, and school was I'm good at it, but it's
and ODP is the Olympic Development Program.
Right.
Right.
I started YOP, so the very first year. So I was 13 competing. And I mean, if you think about it, it's crazy. They're pools of players that if you really think about it, it's they throw you in a pool and you're competing against girls individually, and you have to be the selective top 18 out of 100 athletes in Southern California represent Southern California. Yeah. I didn't think about it like that back then. Thank goodness, because that would have been holy crap.
This is another shared experience that we have.
Right.
And it's interesting, right? At the end, they literally line everybody up.
Right.
And then they just call the names of the people who made it.
Yeah.
And the others is it's just defeat.
For sure. And it's well, you have to come back again and try to beat those players that are more familiar with the coaches, so it's you're always battling.
Yeah.
But that was the best experience ever. We got to travel everywhere: Idaho, Northern California, Oregon, all over.
What'd you love most about those experiences?
I honestly think just the tryouts. I was like, I need to be in the top. And I think you could like, I would feel it too. Like my game would be different when I was like confident. I'm like, okay, I'm for sure making it. Like I could feel it in my soul. Like I'm making it. Yeah.
Is there a tryout Denise that's different than an everyday practice Denise? Or were you able to kind of
No, I don't think so.
maintain that level?
I think I was able to maintain that level, but I think I was able to push myself more when it was like cutthroat.
Okay.
But I think I was pretty good at maintaining the level.
So that competition, is it a competition with yourself?
For sure.
But is it also kind of like, hey, I'm going to be better than these other girls that are out here?
Right, especially the girls that are in your position, you know, specifically. It's like, well, they did this, so I have to do this, but I know it can do it, so I'm going to do it, you know?
So do you remember a time you fell short?
I do.
And how did you handle that?
So the very first year, I didn't make the team, but I made like the reserve. So if anybody like got hurt or whatever, I was like that person. And like that for me, I was like, whoa, like that was like the first setback I've ever had in soccer.
That day. Are you crying that night? Are you in tears?
I
Are you
didn't
pissed
cry.
off?
I was pissed. I was really mad. Like, I can't believe I didn't make it. Like I was just shocked.
So a lot of people go to like, it's political.
For sure.
It doesn't, you're right. I'm better. And for some people that really works, right? We learn about Tiger Woods and Earl was his father used to always kind of help him place blame on other things.
Right.
The putter sucks. So that he could maintain that confidence.
Yeah.
You know, people have different opinions on if that's the right way to go about it.
Right.
For you, was your response kind of like, nope, I am good enough right now. I just got robbed and I'm going to go prove it. Or was the response, oh, I guess I have to be even better and I'm going to go work and be better? What's the response to not making it?
I think initially, the facts were there, like the coaches switch. And so I was like, at first, like, this is so political. Yeah. Oh my goodness. But then at the same time, I was like, honestly, if I really wanted to, like, I should have done better. So I brought it upon myself and I was like, well, I'm going to do better for next time or next year or whatever. And then I ended up with my scholarship. So
yeah, it's kind of this, you get to a point where like, I'm going to make it, I'm going to become, maybe I'm better right now.
Right.
I'm going to become so much better.
Right.
That it doesn't matter if it's political, it doesn't matter anything.
Right.
You
it's
can't
like,
deny the fact that I'm
better
20%
than this player.
better.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So when I got to that level and I didn't make it again, I was like, all right, like, whatever. I'm cool. Like I was at peace. Good. If that makes sense. Yeah.
So it sounds like young Denise was a confident little girl.
Yeah, I was. I guess I still am, but
yeah, that's awesome.
You know.
I mean, so many people deal with, right, and we all deal with some types of insecurities.
Yeah, for sure.
But so many people deal with such massive insecurities, it kind of defines and drives them.
For sure.
Doesn't sound like that's your experience.
No, not with soccer. I think it brought the best out of me, for sure.
What about outside of soccer? Was there insecurities growing up? Or was it pretty much, hey, I know who I am? You know, when did you kind of realize who you were and define yourself?
I would say in high school. I don't know. I think I always knew who I was, and I don't know. That's a good question. I think I didn't really like let my insecurities take over or at any point or whatever. It never like hit like a rock bottom or anything like that.
And sports allowed you to do that.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I was like able, like knowing that I'm able to mentally and physically like push myself, like there was nothing else that could get to me, really.
So in the classroom, you might be upset,
right?
Because there's someone who's scoring higher than you.
Right.
But you could fall back on, hey, on the soccer field, I'm really good.
Yeah, and as long as I'm able to maintain a certain GPA, not, whatever, then I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Well,
what about parental pressure in athletics?
Oh my gosh.
Like what's that look like, right? We hear these, and you're a recent mom, so you got it right. There's these helicopter moms and these kind of like.
That was I would say more my mom than my dad. My dad was more like chill, laid back, like she's gonna handle her thing, like let her go. My mom was like, oh, I hated when my mom went to my games, to be honest.
Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, but she knew it. And so my dad would go to most of my games because, there was two of us in club soccer. So there's conflicting schedules. So I'd be like, Dad, like, thankfully, he was my man. He became my manager. Like, so he was more involved, like, by default. But when my mom came, I was like, oh, I roll automatically. Like, dang it.
So what was it about that relationship or what was it about it that you maybe are going to change a little bit as you raise your young girl?
I'm gonna be more like my dad, confident in my daughter's abilities and stuff, and not really nag on it's. I think it's about the way you criticize certain things. Like, we can do this better, so let's go do it better. Like, let's go practice this or whatever. Not so much like, like mad or anything. Because I feel like my mom was mad whenever I did something bad or like I messed up or something or whatever. So like, I think that was good too, because it did make me like turn that into like, oh my gosh, like I can't do that, like I have to be better. So I think there's like a fine line between that. So I think it's just finding that fine line that'll help Zoe overall is going to be really crucial. So when we're in the moment, I don't really know. I can't like
it's so hard.
It's hard, but we'll see.
I have older kids now, and it's like, well, I did some of those things right. I did some of those things wrong.
Yeah, I mean, we're human.
For sure. Okay, so through young Denise is confident. Young Denise finds strength in the things that she's very good at. Super competitive. That competitive nature ever become unhealthy, or no? Has it always been a healthy drive for you?
I think it's always been healthy. Okay. Yeah.
And you have it today.
Yeah.
And so how does, as athletes, right? We know how to be competitive on a field.
Right.
How do you still want that competition? Where's that come from now? Where do you find competition now?
I think just like being a better person every day. Like, I ate so bad, today I didn't do this well or whatever. My workout was like, whatever, I can do better the next day. Or, I mean, even with improving my relationships with people around me and my family, or like, I don't know, little things like that. I feel like you can always be better than what you did the day before.
Okay. Agree. Let's talk about kind of looks, right? So in this industry, right, and we'll talk about the supplement fitness industry,
right,
there's this constant kind of pressure and competition to look our best,
right,
especially as we are on social media, right, and other people. And the thing that probably one of the things we hear the most when people come in is they're like, man, for so long I wanted to look like this girl, be this girl, and then I met her in real life. And it's like, well, that's not how you actually look in real life.
Yeah.
Right?
There's Instagram reality and there's reality.
Yeah.
Totally.
So along these lines, how do you balance that? How do you balance kind of, especially being someone who has a competitive nature, right? Because I'm sure that leaks into a little bit of like, well, I'm going to get this baby weight gone faster than she did, or better than anybody did.
For sure.
I'm going to get this body back. This is how you were, right?
Yeah.
And so how do you think about that? How do you balance that? Do you sometimes have to pull back and say, hey self, hey Denise, you don't have to compare yourself to everybody else. You don't have to beat everybody else.
Right. I think I was more like that when I was younger, where I was like, I want to look like this person or whatever. But after I had the baby, and while I was pregnant, I was like, I need to lose. Like, I was so concerned. I was like, how much weight did I gain or whatever? And I wasn't restricting my diet or anything while I was pregnant, but I was like, I really need to like get this weight off. So I gained 17 pounds, and it's like basically nothing. That's nothing. I mean,
so many people listen or watch this and be like, oh, I hate you.
But I didn't restrict. I was like, I'm going to enjoy my pregnancy. My mom was good about being supportive. Like, you're going to lose it. You'll lose it. Everybody around me was super supportive. And I was like, all I can think about was like getting in the gym. Like, I need to, get rid of this mom bod. Like, and I honestly, the first 6 weeks, I didn't restrict my diet again. I was like 9 months of eating like crap, and here I am still eating like crap. But I think I just like learned to enjoy the experience and stuff. So I just think I listened to my body, and my body was like, I'm not ready to go back to being so hard on myself or whatever. So I kind of just listened to my body, and I think that's super important too. And you're just happier. And then obviously I had some goals after. I was like, you know what, I want to lose body fat percentage, but I want to gain muscle. So for me, it was just personal. I wasn't trying to compare myself to anybody. I was just really like, this is what I want, and I need something that's going to get me there, just because I'm so used to intense training, like just by growing up by default, So I was like, I want that back. So I just, honestly, you just got to listen to your body and just compare yourself. I think that's just, you got to compare yourself to yourself and like how you were before, like just, just not compare it to anybody, because everybody has different body types.
Isn't that hard?
Yeah.
Or is it easy for you?
I think, honestly, I think being pregnant and going through that whole thing, it helped me not compare myself to everybody, because it's like we all have different body types. Like somebody could have eaten the same as I did when I was pregnant and gained 60 pounds.
Yeah.
You know, it's just everybody's different. So it's a learning process, I think. Yeah.
Makes sense. You're pretty active on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Have you always been?
Honestly, no, not really. Like in high school, no. Like I would just post maybe like soccer pictures or like pictures with my family here and there. But like now it's like I have opportunities with companies and stuff. So I kind of like forced me to be more active on social media and utilize everything that's on there, because there's so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, just recently I think I've gotten more active.
More for as business opportunities.
Right, exactly.
And what are you trying to achieve? I mean, what are you looking?
I want to be like, I want somebody to look up to me, I guess, just as a mom, and not even just to like look like me or be like me in any way, just to know that if you're a mom, you can still do the things that you were doing before. And I mean, I love fashion, I love working out, so anything that's in that world is like I don't know, just something that I love. So it's part of my life now.
For sure. You have how many followers on Instagram?
Like 500 and something, I think.
500 something thousand followers.
Yeah.
2 years ago, you had how many?
Probably like 200,000.
Okay. When did it start to really take off? How many years ago?
I would say about 2 years ago.
Well, you already were at 200,000 though.
Okay, well.
Most people have like 2,000.
Yeah. Well, I don't, maybe my third year of college, my third year, it just started growing.
And why?
Just because my boyfriend, but.
And your boyfriend is?
He plays professional basketball.
Basketball.
So when people found out that we were dating and stuff,
they start following you.
me. And then we got a show. His family has a show, so I'm on it. So that just.
So that grew it.
Yeah.
So for the last 3 years, you start dating someone who's in the limelight. Mm-hmm. You probably had no intention or thought that you would end up going down this road.
Right.
All of a sudden, your Instagram's blowing up.
Right.
Tons of people are just saying, "Hey, you're awesome." Is that what Instagram looks like?
No, honestly, my Instagram has more hate than anything. And I'm like, why do people hate me so bad? Like,
you seem super nice.
Yeah, they don't know.
You've accomplished a lot for yourself.
Right.
Division I scholarship.
Yeah.
Why the hate?
I don't, honestly, I think that they think that I'm just some girl who is with my boyfriend just because of who he is. I don't know. That's a good question. Sometimes I want to comment back and be like, why do you guys hate me? But I honestly don't care that much, so it's fine. But yeah, I get more hate than anything, to be honest.
And it's always been that way.
Yeah. I would say as my followers went up, I've gotten more hate.
Are there ever nights you're laying in bed and you're like, you read some of it?
Oh yeah.
And you're like, I'm done with this.
Yeah, I'm
just gonna shut this down. It's not worth it. It's not worth reading these things. I don't like how it makes me feel. Do you ever get there?
I definitely read the comments, and sometimes I laugh, and sometimes I'm like, wow, people, because I mean, you look and it's like people that it's like the fake pages, mm-hmm. but you know that when people see you in public, it's so different because people are like, oh my gosh, and I'm like, okay, well, are you one of the ones that are making these fake pages?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I definitely read them. My mom's like, don't read them. Before, I think when I first started I was like, oh my gosh, this is so, I would cry.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, because they would say stuff about me and him, and I was like, oh my, and it would get to my head. Mm-hmm. And this is probably 4 years ago when people first started finding out who I was dating and stuff. And I was like, wow. Yeah, because I remember it was his first year of college. So that year I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I remember the comment too, but I'm not going to say it.
People come on who have a lot of followers and they say, you know what, it seems to be this kind of track record, which mm-hmm. is initially you're just not used to people hating on you. Yeah. So you read these things and it feels super personal mm-hmm. and it hurts.
Totally.
And then you get to a point where you can kind of brush off a lot of it.
Right. And
then what often people say is, but then there's sometimes a comment that comes from somebody that you do kind of know. Mm-hmm. And that seems really, really hurtful. right? Because it's someone that you've, interacted with, or someone that maybe you grew up with, and they're the ones who kind of throw, some mean things your way, and those seem to be more personal, more hurtful.
For sure, yeah.
Has that been your experience as well?
Yeah, I would say so, definitely. I mean, if somebody like was a part of my life in any way and they're saying something mean on my social media, it's like that's pretty low. But I really haven't had that experience, because people that I that are in like my circle or in my life are positive. But I would say like one of the first comments back then, it was like super personal, and it was from, and you could tell that it was on a fake page, but you could tell it was somebody that knew me.
Yeah.
Like you guys knew way too much.
Yeah.
So then that was like, whoa.
Who is this?
Yeah.
Why are they saying this?
Exactly.
How'd you get through that? I mean, I guess,
I
what
cried.
yeah,
to my mom.
Just cried.
I was like, Mom, look.
So you talk about it now being able to be a force for good.
Right.
So the next Denise,
Yeah.
right, who's about to go through this.
Totally.
What do you tell her? What have you learned? What can you help prepare her?
Don't go looking at those comments. Like I shouldn't have,
Don't even look at them.
Yeah, don't really. I mean, I still do. I don't even know. Like sometimes I'll just sit there and like look through and like, what do people have to say now?
Yeah,
like, know, but I think there's I don't think it's when people like say anything bad about me. It's more of like what they say. Yeah. Like that. I don't know. I can't go without like saying the actual, like,
yeah.
but I don't know. It's just, it's about how, like what they're actually saying.
Yeah.
If it's something that I'm not going to like about like my life or his life, then I'm like, oh, Yeah.
I would assume it affects you still. I'd assume like maybe there's a post you put up and you get a lot of backlash on it, and you're like, okay, maybe I won't put up another post like that.
Right.
But how do you still live your life? How do you balance it? How do you say, okay, obviously I'm taking this feedback. I am doing this, and you are trying to do this is to help a business. So you kind of have to be strategic about it.
Right.
But you also want to be authentic.
Right.
To you.
Totally.
How do you approach it? Do you approach it like, hey, I need to be strategic. I need to do it as a business. I need to be smart. Do you approach it like, hey, well, part of it's I'm just going to show who I am? How do you figure out what to post, how to react to things?
Well, I don't react ever.
Never
say anything.
Never
I've never
react and
comment. Yeah, no, I don't comment back or anything like that.
On anything negative, but positive stuff
no.
you will?
Sometimes.
Okay.
So even then, I would just like it. I don't really
And that helps create some barrier.
I acknowledge that you're saying something positive, and like I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So and I'm not able to like everything that every good comment that I actually do like, but the ones that I can get to, like, I definitely will.
Okay.
But yeah, I definitely think you have to move with strategy when it comes to Instagram, because that's not your life. Like people aren't gonna put everything about their life on Instagram, and that's just the reality.
Yeah.
So I mean, I do. It's hard when you like want to get to like a level where it's like, okay, I got good feedback, and it's part of being vulnerable too. Like I'm gonna put a little bit of myself out there.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just people aren't. They're always gonna have something to say. So.
It is tough because if we sit here and say, hey, we want people to be able to use pages for good. Well, then always showing this amazing, perfect lifestyle where sponsors send you things, and your business is growing and life is fantastic. Right. Then that does set a precedent that other young women can't live up to. Right. That's not their life.
Right.
And the truth is that's maybe not always your life.
Right.
So how do you balance saying, hey, I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to show, the not so glamorous moments. And that's going to be part of helping people, and that's going to be part of people looking up to me.
Right.
Versus this is a really slick business. Right? This is an ad. This is me. This is no different than opening up a magazine and, this is the best life can be.
Right.
How do you think about it?
I mean, like on my stories, sometimes I'll post like quotes that I think people can relate to and like know that I've been there. So I try to like, like nothing on, like my life isn't perfect. Like I have feelings, like I do have emotions and stuff, and people are like, my life isn't what Instagram is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't live, breathe, eat Fashion Nova.
Yeah.
You know, but you just got to move with strategy. I mean, I don't know. It's hard.
Who do you lean on to help? Who are the people that you look up to, or who do you use for advisors? How do you, or do you go, are you just going through this alone?
I really just, I have a close circle of friends. I would say that I grew up playing soccer with, and they have been like ones that I could talk to about it if I ever feel like talking about it. If I don't, then it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Or I'll talk to my mom if she's like, I'm like, Mom.
Like, this is the soccer field.
Right, because she was there, you know, when I had that very first comment. She was like, Denise, don't listen to them. Don't like, you know.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say my mom's my rock.
Okay. What about inspirations? Are there men and women and business leaders or anything that you follow or that?
Yeah, I would say I follow a few fitness people like Tammy Hebrew. She has 2 kids, and she created her own active wear. I think she's really cool. And then obviously my trainer, Danny, who's also part of the Motivate family. She's been a huge part of like this new Denise kind of as far as like post baby. So like she's definitely like she motivates me a lot.
She's awesome.
She's awesome.
Danny.
Love her.
How do you find a good trainer? I mean, people are like,
honestly,
right?
I got
how do you do that?
We were in Chino, hometown, and one of my family friends was like, hey, she actually posted. See, this is how Instagram can be helpful. She posted a workout. Yeah, she posted a workout video, and I was like, I haven't seen those since my college days. Like
Something she was doing.
Right, and I was like, I love this. Like, where do you go? And she was like, come with me the next session I have. Meet my trainer, see if you like it. And I was like, okay. So then I show up. It's like literally 10 minutes from my house, and that day I was like, okay, so I want to come every Monday. And we started out once a week.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. The second weekend, I was like, I need more. Like, I need 2 times a week. And so she's like, all right, we can do Wednesdays.
And that's listening to your body, right? That's
yeah,
what you're saying.
Listening to my body. Because I was like, let's see how 1 week goes. I didn't want to be too harsh on myself or anything. And I loved her. I loved what she was doing. I loved seeing how I felt. I hadn't felt sore in a long time. And I was like, wow, I need twice a week. And sometimes I even go 3 times a week now if I can on a Saturday. She has like this like class for all of her clients and stuff. So like I'll invite my friends and stuff, and you know, just make it like a fun little class. But yeah, now I can go 3 times a week.
Awesome.
Yeah, she's been awesome.
So she's been fantastic.
For sure.
Anyone else that you kind of follow, look up to?
Myself. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Myself. No.
Follow yourself. You're like, go back to your post. You're like, good job, girl.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, see those abs. I mean, on my Explorer page, if I see, actually, my friend Sine, she has her own workout line.
Okay.
She works out like literally every day, and she started a business with her best friend, and she told me about like how they started it, and you know, she didn't have it all together. She wasn't like, I'm gonna go to school and do this. It was more of just like she was at the lowest point of her life, and she was like, well, I gotta go for it, or stay here at the same level that I'm at. And now she's up on top. So
amazing.
Yeah.
So 2 out of 3 women you mentioned have their own fitness brand lines. Is this a goal?
Yeah, honestly, I kind of want, because it is hard for moms to get in the gym. So, and it's hard to find, I mean, there are cute, active, clothes out there. But I want to incorporate my daughter too as well. So I want to make it like, maybe like a mommy and daughter fitness line, or maybe like, just so that she's already trying to do like stretches that I'm doing, when she's at the workouts with me. So I think just like, she's always going to be around it. And moms feel like they can't really have that because, it's either mom life and then, like their personal stuff that comes secondary, of course. So I think just like making that, I feel like it all can come into one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are next steps? I mean, Are you doing this? I mean, what's the
Yeah,
plan?
I think I'm gonna go for it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've been contemplating, because I'm like, I don't know, but I think I'm gonna go for it. So just doing my research and designing and
Make some
going
things.
from there. Yeah.
Start wearing them. Start
Right.
promoting them. Have your friends wearing them. Right.
Right. That's where I'm gonna.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And it'll be like outfits for little kids.
Kids, yeah.
That match the outfits for the moms.
Yep, that's
Awesome.
the goal. Yeah,
Very
I think
cool.
that'd be so cute.
You don't have to tell us. We already have a name or no?
No,
Okay.
no name.
Okay. So more like this is where we want to head into.
Yeah,
Okay. And using social media as the platform. For
totally.
launching that.
Yeah.
What awesome goal. Awesome goal. And we
Yeah.
look forward to obviously seeing
Yeah.
that. And what other goals or aspirations or I mean,
I do want to become a nurse too,
okay.
so I'm going back to school for that.
Oh wow. You graduated from UCR?
I
you
would
have to
need to
finish
finish my two quarters,
Awesome.
and so I'm working on that now. So that is like my career that I want, and then I want my side business.
Okay.
And then obviously, I have a YouTube channel, so that's also gonna be part of the side.
Okay. Is that live now?
Yeah, I posted 2 workouts, but I'm gonna go. It's just like a glimpse into my workouts, no talking or anything. It's
Cool.
just like.
And where do people go to? What's your YouTube channel?
I do have it on my bio, my link,
Okay.
my link
On your Instagram.
in my bio,
In your
my
Instagram. And your
yeah.
Instagram handle is what?
DMoney0414. I'm gonna change it. That was sophomore.
That was the fastest I've ever heard. Usually people are like, "This is how you spell it.
So
Please go to it."
embarrassing. It is so okay. This is my sophomore year of high school, and I grew up with the name D Money from when I was like 12. But
who gave you the name D Money?
my friend's mom, Marcy.
Okay.
So
Good job, Marcy.
yeah, stuck. And this is because on the corner kicks and like any free kick or whatever, my ball, like the balls that I serve, are always on point.
They're money.
They're money. So D Money just became a thing. So yeah, and then 0414 because my birthday, April 14th.
Okay.
And that I literally, there was like Denise Garcia was taken back then, so I was like, whatever. I remember making my Instagram at like in high school, like just thinking, I was like, and I told my friend too, my friend Alyssa, she was like, you have to make an Instagram, and I'm like, but what if like I don't have any followers, or like like I'm like so lame if I get like 10 likes on my
Denise is kind
yeah,
of
I'm like, what if people don't want to follow me? Like, what if I don't want to follow them?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know. So that was like my sophomore year of high school. I remember like making it that day, and I was like, okay, I made it. And she was like, all right. She's the one that was like,
So-
you have to get one. You have to.
But now you're over 500,000 followers. Why change it now? It serves you well.
True. But I get a lot of crap for it. I do get a lot of crap because they don't know the story behind it.
Yeah.
I even met with my my social media manager.
Okay.
I just had my first meeting with her, and she's like, "Girl, you got to change your name." And I
Oh,
was like,
really?
"I know."
So you've hired a social media manager.
Yeah.
Okay. Is she like?
She's
Let's change a
awesome.
lot.
Yeah. Well, she's like, you know what you need to do, and but she has the tools. I feel like I didn't even know about before.
Okay.
And so I think she like talked about that a little bit, and she came with a full sheet of paper. She was like, boom, boom, boom. This is what you type. Well, this is the type of post you got to post if you want, likes. Like, she observed all of that, and so I'm like, she actually cares.
Are you doing that at the right time? Should you have done that previously?
Yeah, I for
do you
sure should have, but I didn't expect Instagram to take me as far as it has. So it kind of just fell into my lap, I think.
Yeah.
Luckily, because people that's what their goals are,
Yeah.
So I think I was a little bit late, but I'm glad. I mean, better late than never, like Drake said.
That's right.
So yeah.
Awesome. So the business, nursing school,
Being a mom,
baby girl, yeah,
TV show,
it's
a lot.
Have to come to do these types of podcasts and things, right?
It's been fun though. Yeah.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
How do you prioritize?
I mean, obviously, daughter comes first. And then I want to make Instagram more of a priority than I have, but school comes next.
Okay.
Instagram, my YouTube, all of that. and like my ads on Instagram, all that.
So a lot of times when we're talking to people, they're like, hey, 500,000 followers, whatever it is, I want to get to 1 million, I want to get to 1 million. That's my future. That's going to pay the bills. That's
Right.
going
It
to...
totally can too.
So why nursing school?
I've just always wanted to be a nurse, and it just has not left my like mind. And I think after a while, like after all these years, everything I've been through, and it's still there.
Yeah.
I just think that
This is gonna bring
I
happiness.
have to. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So not letting those initial goals get sidetracked or derailed,
Right.
because other opportunities are coming forward.
And yeah, and don't get me wrong, like Instagram can really pay your bills and stuff, but I just for myself want more.
Yeah, makes sense. And being true to yourself.
Yeah.
Which is huge. Lots of opportunities come
Totally.
via Instagram. How do you sift through? How do you decide I'm going to work with this company?
Yeah, see, that's why
I'm not going to promote this. I am going to promote that. How do you figure that out?
Well, I think just knowing like if I like the product and I'm obsessed with it, I'm not going to steer somebody wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to love the product. So like I'll try it at first and then do my research about it. Like, okay, maybe potentially, and then it depends on if I do love it, I'm going all in. If I don't, then I'm not gonna tell these Instagram followers to buy this when it's crap, because people will just do it for the check. But I'm about the check and and also loving
real,
it, right?
Yeah.
No, it's the reality of it, just making money, but most importantly, like making sure that I love it, so that my followers will love it.
That's
and
right.
it builds up my credibility and stuff. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. What else have you learned over these last 3-4 years of this crazy social media growth? You've been thrown into the media, TV shows.
Honestly, I think I've learned more and more about like myself and the world out there, because people, it's easy to fall into that and thinking Instagram is, reality and this is what I need to do or whatever. And I think there's just more to life, because like you can have it all, but you still want more. Or like you think that the grass is greener on the other side and it's not, It's social media, and I think people kind of get caught up in it for the wrong reasons. Yeah. But there's so many tools on Instagram that you can use that are like amazing. I found Motivate and Danny,
Yeah, that's right.
So I think it definitely is an amazing tool, but
it is true. So many people talk about how Instagram and social media are kind of killing social connection.
Yeah.
And yet you're bringing up ways that it really created social connections, right? It helped you find a trainer, which helped you even find maybe like more of a girl group that you could kind of, gain inspiration from.
Totally.
So it really is what you want out of it.
Yes, exactly. It's what you're looking for and what you're using it for. Yeah. If you're making fake pages and stuff, then you're using it for the wrong reasons.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You seem to have a really positive mindset.
Oh yeah.
And I would think that, luckily I'm not in your shoes where I don't have 500,000 plus followers. I'm not, people aren't negatively commenting. I would think that you could get to a point where you'd be like, man, society sucks. Like people are mean,
Totally.
But it seems like overall you still feel like people are good.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Maybe there's a few bad people that are creating this nastiness, but overall you really feel like, hey, the world's a good place.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I just think that people, I can, there's people that'll look for negative and, keep it there, but I think it's just more of turning it into a positive. And I think that's how I've been my whole life.
Awesome.
Yeah.
10 years from now, what's success and happiness look like for Denise?
I would say making sure that Zoe is taken care of. Being the best mom I can. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two is just having, I want Zoe to look at me as like a smart businesswoman, a successful, just woman in general too, just as far as career. She doesn't quit. I just have all these qualities, and I want Zoe to see in me. And I don't ever want her to hear me complain or anything like that. I just want to be like the best
That's awesome.
mom for her, for sure.
That's awesome. I think that's the questions that I had for you.
Yeah.
Robert, anything else that we're missing? I mean, that was amazing.
That was very amazing.
Oh, thank you guys. We should do this more often.
That was awesome. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
No, I think she hit it right on the head. Like, there's a lot of people that don't understand.
Yeah.
They just make comments without not really understanding
Right.
the person, right?
Yeah.
Which is unfair,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, you're amazingly positive, which is so
Oh.
awesome. Really, really
I don't
awesome.
know. I've just been like that my whole life. Because people are like, how are you so like, we'll be running fitness tests. I'm like, how are you so happy? And I'm like, I don't know.
Life is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we have one life. And I just don't think that people, too, they realize how negative they are because they've never been in a position to be like, this person's being really negative, you know? So, like, it's a domino effect. Like, because I see how much hate I get, I'm never going to go hate on anybody's page, you know? So people don't really realize that. But
That's funny. Yeah, I guess it takes receiving some things to understand their effect. Right.
Right, and how you want to affect other people.
Agreed.
So,
have you had a positive effect? I mean, have you been able to have people reached out to you at all? Do you get do you get the other side?
So many, and it's like people you don't even know what positive effect you're making on, and it's like not until people actually tell you, you know. And sometimes, and that also too, I learned that like when people are doing that for me, I let people know because it's important.
Cool.
You know, because I can have people that are like positive and they don't know what positive influence they're making on me, but I think it's important to tell them.
It's true. It's that whole pay it forward model a little bit, right? Which is the
Totally.
more we receive it and like it, then we're going to understand what it does for us.
Yeah.
And share it as well.
And appreciate it. And exactly.
Awesome. Well, Denise, you're always phenomenal when you come through.
Thank you.
And it's kind of like the soccer skills. Like, oh, I can't really play soccer
Oh
that much
my
anymore. And then this girl's you're doing incredible things.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're in a tough position.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, you didn't seek out kind of your notoriety.
Right.
You got thrown into your notoriety.
Mm-hmm.
You don't seek out these kind of comments and things. They come your way.
Mm-hmm.
And for you to really respond, and I guess class would seem like the right word.
Mm-hmm.
You respond with such class and such positivity. I don't have daughters. I have 2 sons. But I'm always super, super thankful when I come across very empowered, positive female role models. Because I know that my son's future wives need it.
Right. Totally.
Right? So from a dad's side, thank you for being
thank you.
such a great role
Thanks
model.
A lot. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming by.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I had so much fun.
So did
This
we.
is awesome.
Thank
yeah.
you.